Mr. Speaker, will you please call the House to order?
The bill is passed.
We'd like to get a budget that represents the interests of the people who are standing here with me now.
To be part of the struggle to achieve a better society for all.
We want to build stronger neighborhoods, vibrant communities, and make New York a more affordable place to raise a family.
Welcome to Assembly Update. I'm Assemblymember Angelo Santabarbara, representing the 111th Assembly District, which includes Montgomery County, parts of Albany County, and parts of Schenectady County. Focusing on the Montgomery County portion of the district, today my guests are from the Montgomery County Office of the Aging. With me is David Jordan, who is the Executive Director. Welcome, David.
Thank you.
And Sharon Heroth, who is the Nutrition Program Manager.
Yes.
Welcome, Sharon, to the show.
Thank you.
So Montgomery County Office of the Aging, I've heard about this program. A lot of the programs you participate in, and I've attended so many of your functions, including the picnic that's coming up shortly. We'll talk about in a little bit. Tell us an overview of the Office of the Aging. What the mission is.
The mission is to serve older adults, age 60 and older, to provide services so that they can remain in the community. So there isn't a need for institutional level of care, whether that's an assisted living facility or skilled nursing, and it's to provide community supports to keep them in their homes as long as they wish to be there and are able to care for themselves in their home. So it's to keep them as independent as possible for as long as possible.
And we talked a little bit about this before the show. Your mission has sort of changed over the years too, sort of adapting to what the community needs are. We talked about several different things that you provide. One of them is the meals program.
Yeah.
And that's a very important part of what you do.
Yeah, as far as our funding, it's probably almost half of our funding goes towards meals. And I know I've been with the agency about 2.5 years, and when I came for an interview, I didn't know they did other things other than meals, because that's the one thing you always hear. Most people call them what we call it Meals of Montgomery,
Meals, yeah.
But a lot of people call them Meals on Wheels.
Yeah.
And that's Sharon's program. But I'll let you talk about it, Sharon.
Well, the program has probably about 200 people that receive either meals through the home delivered programs or the congregate sites, which are like, we call them cafes now. And they provide socialization while people have a nice hot noon meal. So between the two of them, we actually have a waiting list, and we have about 100 people on our wait list, and almost every day we get a call to add somebody on. The only way people leave the meals usually is if they're placed or they pass away or they move in with a family member or something like that, and then they would go off the program. Then we can put other people on. The problem is that we have a waiting list, and it's mainly funding, and we could serve everybody on our wait list, but we don't have enough money to pay for the meals, and we have a suggested donation of $3 per meal. And not everybody contributes because they can't all afford to. And Montgomery County, as you're probably aware of, is a huge majority of seniors. It's the young people aren't staying as much, and the older people are getting older and need more services. And the meals program, we provide a hot noon meal Monday through Friday. We do have frozen weekend meals, and then we have what we call a cold supper bag. And not everybody has all those meals. Sometimes they have family members that are providing meals for dinner, but the meals themselves help these people stay in their home longer. Without the meals, I mean, we have doctors' offices calling and saying, can you put this person on your wait list? They really need the meals if you can move them along any quicker. I'm really concerned about their nutrition because they're eating cookies or donuts for breakfast and, not much else. So,
Yeah, I always find it amazing. We're talking about keeping seniors in their home. Something like a meal every day.
Right.
It's not just the meal. Even though the meal's important, it's really about the daily contact.
The contact.
We get somebody to see that person every single day. So if they decompensate in any way, that person usually can recognize what's going on, and we can get them the help that they need. But the meal certainly is important.
Right.
But some people don't understand. Like a meal for us costs, if we do a Monday through Friday meal, about $2,100 for a whole year. Nursing home care is about in the neighborhood of $10,000 a month. And so if a meal can keep somebody in their home, we're saving money for everybody, obviously, because it's out of taxpayer money as well.
Right. That they're in their home, they're still paying their taxes, they still, use the community services, and by that one meal a day sometimes can make all the difference. And like Dave said, that it's a socialization contact part there. Some people don't have any family in the area. They don't have anyone. So this one person, they look forward to seeing them. They really do. And if there is somebody that's not acting right, or they seem sick or whatever, that this driver will call us and say, they're not acting right, can you call somebody? And if they have an emergency contact, we talk to that person and they go check on them. Many people end up in the hospital after that call, and sometimes it's just a bad day for them, but other times it's an emergency. So it's the meals are really special in more ways than one.
And Sharon, as your title suggests, nutrition program. This is part of this is making sure people get the proper nutrition, and they are eating having a balanced diet.
Right.
And that's part of your job. What you do to put these meals together.
We have a dietitian that goes through. We come up with a menu. The dietitian goes through every menu, goes through every meal, and makes sure everything is balanced. So they get a balanced meal every single day. And
we also talked about these meals are delivered. You have a driver,
Yeah.
So there's a need for driving. I know Montgomery County, it's a big county, so there's a lot of driving involved. That's one of the challenges you've had. Let's talk a little bit about the need for drivers and the challenge, and the weather changes as well. What the challenges are with delivering these meals.
Yeah, I mean, geographically, we're a longer county. We have one route that's 52 miles one way, delivers about a dozen meals, and we have to pay our meals provider. They pay their driver's mileage. We do have some volunteer routes. Maybe about half of them are volunteers, which some don't ask for mileage, some do, which is fine. We're still not paying an increased rate, but that helps funding-wise because then we have money for the actual meals. But it can be a big expense. And certainly in the winter, it becomes a huge issue.
Right.
If we know an impending storm is coming, we usually try to give them an extra meal in case we can't come here tomorrow. There's a storm coming. Here you go, and then they'll be equipped for that because they do look forward to it and they need it. We have some clients that don't have gas in their homes, so they wouldn't be able to cook, or some don't have a microwave that they wouldn't be able to heat something up, so they need that hot noon meal. And the driving is a huge portion of it, a huge part of the budget that we have. About $3.50 out of the little over $8.25 we pay for a meal is just in delivery charges. So when we get volunteers, that's money that we're saving out of that.
And we talked about the kitchen part, but also companionship. You talked about the drivers having contact and communication with the people that are receiving the meals. We also have you also talked about a telephone program where people are making calls as well. Tell us a little bit about that, because that's important as well.
Well, the telephone reassurance program is we have a volunteer that will make daily calls to whoever wants them, because not, even if they need them, they may not want them, and so they call them and just talk to them, how you doing, that type of thing. And it's a social contact. It makes the people feel better that someone is looking out for them, and they can tell too if somebody's not talking right. They're confused and that's not their normal way. They have a way we have emergency contacts, and we can, say, please go check on them. So the telephone reassurance, it's not only beneficial for the person that's, and they're usually homebound people, they can't get out at all. And the telephone reassurance volunteer, it makes them feel good too, that they end up being friends over the phone, even if they don't ever meet each other, they're friends over the phone.
And we have some people that have done it for years. They build a relationship with the senior, and they're part of the family in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So for people to find out more about these programs, obviously you have a website. We'll give out that website, and it is the website will be flashed up on the screen here in a second.
www.officeforaging.com.
And you're also on Facebook as well. People can follow you on Facebook and find out all the things you're doing in the community. And speaking of that, you have been around in the community because we have some wonderful pictures to share with everybody here about you've been out at Hillcrest visiting with some people.
That first picture was centenarians. We had 22 people that we visited this year that are 100 years or older, or turning 100 this year, and 4 of them were at Hillcrest. So I go around usually with one of our staff members, and we visit all the 100-year-olds in the county. It's probably the best day. Well, it takes 2 days, but it's the best 2 days of the year because these people are just absolutely fascinating.
And I see your volunteers there at one of your dinners.
Yes, one is a volunteer, and the other is one of our case managers. That's at our annual dinner that we have usually every May at Glenn Sanders Mansion. That's our major fundraiser for the year. And we're actually registering people for the lottery tree.
And of course, seniors come up here for Senior Citizens Awards, and we are presenting one of those awards there at the Capitol. And we certainly appreciate presenting these awards, the opportunity to present these awards to seniors in Montgomery County.
It's a great day. They do a great job at the Capitol.
And there's your president throwing out I think it looks like a pretty good pitch, actually.
Yeah, he did a pretty good job. Because Peter's a senior himself, and he did himself proud throwing out the first pitch at an Amsterdam Mohawks game.
And there, I see Mojo posing there with you as well. Yeah. So that's great to see that you're out and about in the community, making your presence known. And this is this event here. I see the 40 for 40 celebration.
Yeah, we were getting the word out about that, but also our services. That was at a long-term care council event called Connecting Our Generations, which was in May at Fulton Montgomery Community College, where they had a lot of vendors, a lot of people show up and find out about services. And this is at our volunteer luncheon. We do it annually to honor all of our volunteers. And then we're there with a volunteer from Liberty ARC. We have a couple of our staff members there as well. That's always a great day.
Going back to that 40 for 40, that's a program, a pledge program that you're been participating in, and you're trying to raise $40,000 for your 40th.
Yep.
I see a little pledge card here. People can participate by making a pledge to Montgomery County Office of the Aging. Yep. They can contact you by phone, 843-2300. Or get information on the website, or pay a visit to get one of these pledge cards and make a donation. And this tree, tell us about this tree.
The tree is going to go in our reception area at our office, and there's different levels. There's leaves, 3 different levels for the leaves. There's stones, as you see underneath, and also acorns. And the money is all going to go towards our OFA Foundation. What some people might not know is that we are a private, not-for-profit agency. We're not a county agency. And we're one of only 3 in the entire state that's not affiliated with the county. We do get an allocation every year from the county, but things like heat, utilities, insurance, that falls on us, and that comes out of our bottom line. So we enhance our funding by doing fundraisers throughout the year, and our foundation kind of gives us a backup plan in case, I always tell everybody, if our roof collapses tomorrow, there's no backup plan if we don't have a foundation. So the more money we can raise for our foundation, that gives us a safety net if funding in the future is cut for whatever reason, or other unforeseen things happen. You know, our delivery van breaks down and we need major repairs, we'd have something to fall back on.
And we talked about all the services that are so important to our community, delivering food, making those phone calls, making sure people have the proper nutrition. I know there's many ways to support, including this 40 for 40 program, but there's also a community breakfast coming up on October 29th. People can find out more about that. And of course, you're going to be at the Fonda Fairground, as you are every year, on September 18th.
September 18th.
Another opportunity to participate. You can buy tickets for that. That's a well-attended event. And an opportunity to spend time with the community and families. I know that's well-attended. I see people from all over the county attend that at the Fonda Fairgrounds. They can buy tickets on location?
No, they have to get them ahead of time because we have to know how much food to bring.
Yeah.
So they can call the office and we can make arrangements to mail the tickets to them, or they can stop by our office and get the tickets, or one of our satellite offices might have the tickets.
Yeah. Okay. Wonderful. And again, they're on your website and on Facebook. They can find out all the wonderful things you're doing in the community. If you get a chance to support the Montgomery County Office of the Aging, I encourage you to do it. There's many ways to do that. Or just to find out more, you can visit them or give them a phone call at 843-2300. I want to thank you both for being on the show. And more importantly, thank you for all the wonderful work you're doing in our community. I know you are one of the longest members, 17 plus years,
Right.
Sharon, so thank you for all your many years of service. We're going to take a short break. More on Assembly Update when we return about great organizations like Montgomery County Office of the Aging.